Let's talk with your host, Reggie B. Come on, let's all join in. Free your voice, it's your choice, alright here. Oh, simply straight talk.
You left me to fight and figure everything out by my damn self.
Baby, I couldn't stay, and you know that.
Oh, whatever.
I left to protect you. I left because I love you.
Well, how long before you love me and leave and walk your ass out the door again?
Damn it, woman, listen to me. I came back for you and to make things right. Whether you like it or not, it is what it is.
I didn't ask you to come back.
If we don't make this right now, they'll take us both out. Now, are you with me in this or not?
I'll do this, but believe me when I say this. When this is over, I want you to stay the hell out of my life. Oh my gosh, this is getting good. Oh, do you think we can stop them? Oh, will they get back together? Hello?
Oh, what's up?
What's up? Do you not like this movie? We can watch something else.
Oh, no. You know what? I was just thinking about something.
Because you're not paying attention to the movie and it's starting to get good. Anyway, what are you thinking about?
My bad. You know, today I was talking to James.
Oh my goodness, James. Why do you even bother?
I know, right? But I can't believe this dude is still in love with someone that he met like 5 years ago. Now, they never dated, but he never told the girl how he really felt.
Okay, but why would anybody waste so much energy on a what-if dream about a relationship?
What if? What are you talking about?
You know, when a person is always looking back on their life and asking themselves, what if this would have happened? Or what if that person would have did or said this? He needs to move on.
I know, you're absolutely right. But wait a minute, that makes me wonder. So do you have any what-if moments in your life about love?
You know I don't live my life in what-if moments from the past. You should know that. Anyway, we all have a love story from our past, but you have to learn when to let it go and move on.
Look at you dropping knowledge with the positive vibes.
Actually, you know what? I do have a what-if moment.
Are you serious? That's what I just asked you.
Okay. What if we finish watching this movie because the lead actors, Angelique and Reggie, deserve an Oscar for this movie, and you leave other folks' drama at the curve and don't bring it up in Her?
All right, you got a good point. Sounds good. And you're right. But I want to say this, though. I think Reggie deserves the Best Actor award for this movie.
I was thinking he should get a nomination for Best Supporting Actor, but that Angelique, she definitely could get an Oscar for Best Actor and Best Supporting Actor.
You just refused to let me get the last word.
I knew you were a fast learner.
You know what? Just put the movie on. Just go and put the movie back on.
We have a great show for you today. So let's get the show started with your host, Reggie Maddox.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Simply Straight Talk Show. This is your host, Reggie Maddox, man, and today we're going to talk about love, but I got a question for you, though. I got a question surrounding love. Have you ever asked yourself, what if? What if she would have did this? What if I would have did that? What if she would have said this or I would have said that about somebody that you may have liked or been interested in from your past? Just think about this. Just think about the fact that sometimes a person can be caught up in something that happened many years ago. It could have been 2 years ago, 10 years ago, 14 years ago, but you still wonder, what if something would have happened different between you and that person? Would you two be a couple now? Because you could still be friends today, but just wonder, like, what if I would have did this or said this at that time? Would it have changed our situation now? Will we be friends? Will we not be friends? Will we be happily married? Will we be happily divorced? So you got to ask yourself this because let's be honest. We all have moments in our life that we can call them like an old time love story to where we've encountered somebody or, you know what I'm saying? We work with somebody or we've just been put in a situation that life has thrown you in the path of somebody else and you had some type of feelings for them. You felt some type of way about it. Now, in some cases, people pursue it. But in other cases, it was the wrong time. You might have been interested in them, but you found out they was dating somebody else. They might have been interested in you and find out that you were dating somebody else. It might have been that you two just never really expressed how you feel because some people have the unwritten rule or the written rule, that, you don't date in the workplace. And sometimes people just feel like my life is not stable right now. I'm just not in a position to be in a relationship. And these situations make you ask yourself, well, these circumstances rather, make you ask yourself, what if? What if? I think about two occasions in my life. When I was in the Navy in 1989, I went to boot camp. And after boot camp, I went to hospital corpsman school. And it was this girl named Lana. Now, me and Lana really didn't see eye to eye when I first got there, but eventually we ended up becoming really good friends. And there was something there, although it was never really said. And the thing about it is, I used to wonder for a long time, man. Think about it. It was 1989, man. And it was like in 2015, 16, I was still like, dang, I wonder what she doing. Because she just had that type of effect on me because she showed me something that I should look for in any woman that would come in my life after that. And I never found it. I never found it. After meeting her, I never found any woman that present that. So, and what I'm talking about is she just had a way of speaking life. She wasn't judgmental. She would listen. I mean, she was the type of woman that can make a man feel like, you know what, you might be sitting at the bottom of the mountain, but you own that mountain. You just don't know it yet. Get your butt to the top of the mountain. That's the type of woman she was. But the thing about it is, when we get into these situations and we start to wonder, what if I just would have said this and did this? What would have happened? Now, long story short on that, because I've covered that story before. I've told y'all about that. But what ended up happening was, the day I was supposed to leave, she was going to a different program. I was going to a different program. She left me her address. I put it in my bag, left it at the front desk. Somebody stole the address out. So I was never able to find her or locate her again. So we have never spoken since that time. But throughout the time that after her, she sort of had left an impression on me that I look for in every woman that came after her. Because sometimes people can have an effect on us without them having to be sexually interactive with us. Her presence, her vocabulary, her voice, the way she spoke to me. She spoke power. She spoke strength into my life. And after her, the women that I dated and the couple that I married, I never found that. And I think that's why a lot of my relations failed, because that was something that I looked for. That strength of a woman who understood that she can encourage a man, but it didn't make her less of a woman, or it wasn't a sign of weaker. It was a sign of love. The fact that you can love somebody enough to want to motivate them above who they are without feeling like I'm not a woman, or I'm less of a person, or I'm standing behind them, or I'm weaker than them. The fact was, we did that for each other. Now, when it comes to love, love is something that's great, man. When you got it and it's going good, it's great. But when love tugs at your heart the wrong way and you start to feel the little shakiness, you so love comes with happiness. It comes with peace. It comes with joy. It can also come with anxiety. It can come with stress. It can come with disappointment. That's just the reality of love. There's two sides to love, and you have to be willing to embrace them both. Now, like I said, sometimes love is just the wrong time. You know what I'm saying? Missed opportunities, feelings not being expressed, your life is not stable. There's different reasons that two people cannot get together. But oftentimes, when a person has that impact on you, that it can make you receive something from them that you say, you know what? Any woman that comes into my life, I want this to be brought into the picture. And that's because you really want that feeling of what they're giving you. And it's rare. You'll be surprised that some of the things that you get from love from people is rare. And it's not going to be the person that you're with. It may be the person that you're like, but you two never get together. But there's something that they give you. And that brings me to the reason this show is called The Love Story. Now, I told you about Lana, the girl I met when I was in hospital corpsman school. Now, and I told you that she gave me something that I looked for in women and could not find. Over the years, over many, many years, I could not find that personality trait of her in any other woman. But I ended up working at a college where I became the campus safety director. And it was there that I met a woman, whom when I first met, it was something about her that drew me to her. Now, the person who she worked for, the supervisor of her department that she reported to, was taking her around, and he was introducing her to the people who she felt she needed to know. And he felt that, she needed to know me. And because it was totally him that brought her over there. So when he brought her over there, he introduced me to her and asked a few questions and let me explain what the department do, blah, 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 blah. So I'll be honest with you. It's something inside me was just kind of like, there's just something about her. I mean, despite the fact that she was very attractive, it was just something about her that was just, I don't know, something just drew me to her. So I made this thing about, because I had some first aid kits that I used to keep. So I just kind of said, oh yeah, we give our new employees first aid kits. Here's a first aid kit. It was my way of sort of trying to break the ice, I guess. I don't know. I just wanted to stand out with her, I guess. But anyway, over the years, we always got along, and we was always really cool with each other. And as I watched her, I just really observed that everything I thought I could not find that was lost in one was now brought back to me again in somebody else. Think of this now. It was in 1989 that I met the first person who displayed something in me that I would look for in every other woman after her, and I could not absolutely find it at all. It wasn't until maybe 2014, 2015, when this next young lady came in, and she brought that same quality and traits, but then she even brought more. She spoke with more life. And I loved her honesty. I loved her realness. And I love the fact that, because, I'm kind of a private person, and I probably share more on this podcast show than I have with people in real life that I actually know. But the thing about it is, she was the type of person that I knew that I could confide in. Put it like this, to this very day, if somebody says, you got Reggie's number? I want to give him a call. She will not give you my number. She will call me and say, are you okay with it? If you don't want them to give it to him, you want me to give it to him, I won't. That is the type of woman that I like. I love the fact that this is a woman that actually understands the person who you are. Over the time that we worked together, I got to get my thoughts back right. Come back, get back, Reggie. Over the time that we worked together, we never dated. We never went out, nothing like that. Now, there was occasional times that we went to lunch. It was like me, her, and there was a student by the name of Jasmine. And Jasmine was her help desk helper. Gosh, I did not mean to say her name. But that was her help desk helper. And I'm kind of embarrassed right now. Okay, that was her help desk helper. So the fact that, we never dated, never went out. It was never, nothing ever sexual, nothing ever, anything like that. It was just the fact of two people who really got along very well. And it was the fact that somebody who, you look back on and be like, man, what if? What if I just would have expressed myself and just told her how I really feel, what I really think? Whether it was a yes or no, the fact that I wish I would have took a chance and just said something. And I'm in my mind right now, there's a Luther Vandross song going through my head. I want to say it's Take You Out, where Luther Vandross, he's talking about asking this girl out and whether she said yes or no. He said, at least I tried. The fact that I never tried, I never really stepped out with her. I mean, because there was times like when she was on campus and she was going to do, to kind of help somebody with something. Like I would kind of walk with her and go down there. And sometimes, it was just the laughter and the bond, the communication, and the fact that there was this trust between us. It was almost like I knew how she felt about a situation, even if she didn't speak, based on how she acted. And she knew how I reacted, and it was one time we went to lunch and she was telling me that how she admired the fact that she knew that how people tried to run over me or try to, boss me around, but they knew that at a certain point they had to back off. That they knew when they had pushed that limit and they knew there was a line, and she liked that. She respected that. So it just comes a time in life when there's a person that comes across your path that you actually wonder, what if? What if I would have asked her out? What if I would have said, I like you? But here's the thing about that situation. She was involved with somebody else. Now, one of the guys I used to work with who was in my department, after we do, like sometimes we had to do special details for parties and president events and stuff like that. So after that, we would probably go, I'd take him out to eat, as thank you for helping out. And, of course he still got paid, but whatever. And he was like, man, he's like, why don't you just go and ask her? Tell her how you feel. I'm like, dude, I said, she has a boyfriend. I didn't know it was a boyfriend or a husband. I wasn't sure. I said, I think she has a boyfriend. And he was like, okay, but they ain't married. But see, in my book, if a person is with somebody and they have said, now she actually said, this is who she's with, I don't think it's right to intervene, whether it's a boyfriend or a husband. I just don't think it's right to step in. Because in my humble opinion, I wouldn't want somebody to do that to me. Because if I was dating somebody and that woman told somebody, listen, I got a boyfriend or this is my husband, I understand that a person, there's always going to be a man that's going to try to hit on a woman. There's always going to be a woman that's going to try to flirt with a guy, whatever. But once that person acknowledges to you that they have somebody in their life, I don't care about the hitting on, as long as you know to back off when they say they got somebody. And sometimes people don't know when to back off. But his point was, she wasn't married. There was no ring on her finger. So I should just go ahead and jump in there. And I'm like, no, I don't believe in that. I don't think that's what you should do, because I won't want somebody to do that to me, because that is not, absolutely not a good feeling. So what we're going to do is take a little break, and we'll be right back with more of the love story.
We'll be right back. So keep it locked here with your favorite radio talk show. There are so many talented young men and women attending our HBCUs. Don't you think it's time we show them our support? This year, Reggie will be highlighting HBCU bands, dance teams, and sports programs. And we are inviting you to show your love as well by attending games in your area. When you buy tickets to attend these events, you are helping to support not only the programs, but the great minds of our future generation as well.
We're back with the conversation starter and the voice that works harder. Your host, Reggie.
Hey everybody, thank you for sticking with us after that very quick little break. Today we're talking about the love story and what if? What if? Come on now, you knew you had to ask that question at some time. What if I would have said this? What if I would have did this? What if she would have did this? What if she would have said this? We've always had the what if moments when it comes to love. Somebody that came across our life at some point in our life, and we just wonder what if we would have took that extra step? What if she would have did this or did that? We all wonder about it. And there's nothing wrong with it. I think sometimes people make it seem like asking what if is wrong. I don't think it's wrong. I think it's wrong if you linger in the what if moment as if, you can go back and change it right now. But if you take the what if moment as a learning moment, what could you have done to make that what if into I did? And you can't control what somebody else do. You can only control what you do, what you say, your actions, your decisions. That's all you can control. Now, before we went to the break, I was telling you about a person that I was like really into, man. I mean, like really into. And I never really expressed how I feel. Well, I didn't really express it it was all subliminal, pretty much like that. It was very much subliminal. If that person caught on to it, I don't know. Because you know what I'm saying? Because to me, it was kind of like, wow, I could say something, but I don't want to lose the friendship. And I think that's sort of where my mind was and still is. It's like, I don't want to lose the friendship, but now I live in a total different state. Because, things happen, man. Life, brother, life. You know what I'm saying? So I live in a different place right now. And, we communicate, but don't communicate, really. It's more like one of those online games, sort of compete against each other. That's really about it. It's like, oh, happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas. That's really about it. And occasional, I hope everything's okay. There's no real conversations like there were. And maybe that's because as time has passed, that person has decided like, listen, I was never really interested in, she probably could have never been, maybe she was never really interested in me like that, the way I was interested in her. Like to her, it could have been purely a friendship, but I saw it as, kind of like, man, I would love for this to be more. But out of respect for the fact that she was in a relationship, I was not going to cross that line. As a matter of fact, there was a movie came out with Idris Elba. It was something about the mountains. It was a movie about him and this woman. They traveled on this plane, and the plane crashed on top of this mountain. The mountain between us, that's it. And it crashed on this mountain. And then, spoiler alert if you've never seen the movie. But anyway, at the end of the movie, there was a situation to where she told him that she was going to go ahead and get engaged. And he sort of backed off like, okay, I'm not going to respond. And she tried to call him a couple times, but it wasn't really to say I like you, just like how you doing. But I guess he was feeling like because he had feelings for her, he didn't want to bring that into her life, especially with her being married to somebody else. And it sort of came up when they finally met. It was kind of like, I tried to call you. He was like, but you were married. So it was just this mixed thing going on. And when I see that movie, not the whole stuck on the mountain on the plane thing, but the thing about how two people had two feelings, but because it was never expressed, it led to a misunderstanding. And I guess for me, it's like I didn't want to lose a friendship. Because sometimes when you tell a person how you feel about them and they're with somebody else, it could make it so that the friendship doesn't exist anymore. And I sort of felt like that might have been a direction it would have led to. Because I don't want to lose a friendship. I would never want to do that. So I'm basically just taking whatever little parts I can get. You know what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, there were some what if moments for me. Like, what if I would have opened up to her? What if I would have said how I feel? And I'm sure, now listen, let me tell you something. I know some people out there right now saying, what? Please. We've all had what if moments. We've all wondered Because you might be with somebody right now that you looking at them and wondering, what if that dude that I let go 2 years ago before I met this clown would have just stuck it out with me? Or what if that woman who I knew was good for me, if I just would have been a little more patient instead of sending him with this money hungry, greedy, good for nothing, low life looking. Okay, so we all have those moments. Like I said, we have them in different aspects. Some people live those moments based on the fact they're in a relationship that makes them reflect on somebody they should have stayed with. Then you got people like me who are single and who just reflect on the fact that there's a moment with somebody they just really felt like should have been the one. Now, this is not something that you have with everybody that comes across in your life. The people you have these what if moments, you may only have one or two in a lifetime. But they are people that leave an emotional impact that really shows that they care, had a concern. It's not based off sex. It's not based off any type of financial gain or self-motive agenda. It's the fact that this person, something in your spirit drew you to this person and you can't seem to get them out. You don't want to get them out, but something in your spirit drew you to that person and holds on to you. So that's when I say a what if moment. So if you're having a what if moment by everybody that you done met, okay, something wrong. I'm talking about significant what if moments with people that left a very strong and positive hold on you, that it makes you look at every other person that comes across in that aspect of your life and say, wow, this is what I need. And when I think about Lana, when I think about the other person, I'm not going to say their name. Let's say the Angel. When I think about Lana and I think about Angel, I'm thinking about two people that brought something very similar in two different ways. The first was such a beginning stage with Lana. Then with the Angel, it was an amplified version of Lana. And when you receive these things, when you get this type of a character or a trait from a person that makes you want to be better. They don't have to tell you to be better. Just for the fact of who they are makes you want to be better for them and yourself. That's what you call a good what if. And that's the type of thing that you want to pull and hold on to and say, this is what I need. Those are the character and traits that I need in my life. And everybody's going to be different. Everybody's going to have a different idea of what characters or traits that another person can bring. But when you have a what if moment in your life, just remember, you have to kind of look at it like this. You can ask yourself, what if this person would have did this or said that? And I'm not going to lie, I do. I ask myself all the time, what if I would have did this? Or when I did this, because there were some things I did, I kind of wondered like, did she get it? Did she not get it? You know what I'm saying? Was it too low key? But because sometimes I felt like there was something there. You know what I'm saying? And then I felt like, okay, I misread it. Back off, Reggie. Back off. You misread. You know what I'm saying? Like this dude named Big Jaw got this YouTube video called My Inner Thoughts. It's like a comedy thing. But one of the things his comedy scripts does with his inner thoughts. And, it's like sometimes we do things to kind of see how a person responds or how a person reacts. And I think for her birthday, I did like a text and I did like a short audio clip from Luther Vandross. And I remember the song and the words, but I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Because I was wondering, was it too much? But it didn't get a negative response from her. So there was times I kind of felt like, yeah, she's feeling me the way I'm feeling her. Or maybe she was just catching it and like, wait a minute, let me back up because no, I'm with somebody. And then I put myself back in place. You know what I'm saying? I had to check myself. So it's difficult, man. Yeah, it is sort of a game because you're sort of trying to feel like where you are and where you fit in. But then again, like I said earlier, if somebody's with somebody else, I don't believe in stepping over that line. You know what I'm saying? Once they become single, say, look, we broke up. That's one thing. But when you got a person that's like, I'm a very private person, so if they broke up, I want to know, because sometimes people don't want to discuss it. And after they go through a breakup, they may not want to get into another relationship. So I don't know. So sometimes you just got to trust God, man, and say, if God brings it back around, he brings it back around. If he don't bring it back around, just accept the fact that God brought that person in your life for this moment, and you need to move past it. But right now, we need to move into this next commercial break. Then we're going to come back with the final thoughts of today's show, a love story. What if?
Free your mind, free your voice right here on Simply Straight Talk.
Hello, Simply Straight Talk family. If you are enjoying this episode, at the end of the show, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. And why not share this with a friend? Also, visit our blog at newlifenewmind.com, where you can find additional articles on more great topics. Stay tuned. The show will continue right after this message.
Are you ready for the straight truth? Reggie, what's the final word for today?
Hey everybody, welcome back for the final thoughts of today's show. Today we talked about a love story, the what if moments of loves in our life. Listen, we all gonna have moments where we look back on relationships and we wonder what if, especially when we're referring to those relationships like the ones I mentioned about my personal life, where we're talking about people who really do have a very influential and very motivational impact on your life that's not based on sex, is not based on anything like that. It's based on the fact that this person has a character or trait that leaves a stamp in your life that makes you say, you know what? Anybody that comes into my life after this person, I want to see this trait. I want to see this quality, because it makes me better, and it also makes me better for us. And you do the same for that person. Yes, we are going to have moments, what if moments. It's just a part of life. You can't really, you know what I'm saying, get around it. But like I said, true what if moments are only going to come once or twice in your life. When you find that one person or that person that may come after them that really make you look back and say, you know, it's just something about them that just makes you say, I should have been with them. There's something about that person that there's a connection there that you can't explain. It's not about money. It's not about sex. It's not about opportunity. It's about a connection. It is a very unique and rare connection that ties you to this person that for some reason you just can't seem to get past. Now, it don't mean that you stalking the person, creeping outside their house, following them around stores, popping up on their job. It just means that you know that there's something there, but at the moment there ain't nothing you can do about it. So you just ask yourself, what if, especially if they moved on. Now, I want to say this. If somebody is in a relationship with somebody else and you having your what if moment, man, keep it to yourself. Because if you feel like, because I don't want to get the impression that I'm telling you to go back, find this person and intervene in their life and throw yourself in the picture because you're trying to get some closure for your own life. Sometimes you just got to let a what if moment just live in the past and just be that, a what if moment. Because like I said, also, sometimes people come in your life, man, it's just for that moment. It's just a passing moment. It's just to teach you, to help you recognize what works in your life and what doesn't work in your life. So don't feel like you got to go back and attack every what if moment or like I said, interject yourself into somebody's lives, breaking up homes to satisfy your own curiosity. Sometimes curiosity is just meant to be a curious moment and just leave it at that. And you may have to move on. You may have to let it go. It don't mean that you got to forget the person. Like I said, with my situation, I chose to keep my mouth shut, keep my feelings to myself, because I'd rather keep the friendship than lose the friendship. Because some cases you can, especially if they're in a relationship with somebody, you could possibly lose the relationship, the friendship of that, because they're going to feel like, okay, you got these feelings. Now you're going to try to move in. You're going to cause problems in my home life. And I don't want that. If they have a happy life and they're at peace, let them live that happy life and that peace. Keep what you got and feeling inside for yourself and just hold on, because you know what? Maybe there's somebody else coming down the pipeline that you'll be able to share that with and explore those with. And that person that you feel like, yeah, I wish we could have been together, you're going to realize that that person really was not meant for you to be together, but just meant to teach you about what you need in your life. It was a teachable moment. And sometimes we get confused with teachable moments, thinking that they're lifetime moments, but really it's an educated memory, baby. All right, that's it for today's show, man. I hope y'all enjoyed the Simply Straight Talk show. We'll be back next week with another show. And thank you, everybody. And remember, be safe and be careful during these holidays. Don't stress yourself out trying to buy gifts and spend money and go into debt. Please, please, please make this holidays about love, family, and friends. I'm out.
That's this week's episode. Thank you for listening and being a part of the Simply Straight Talk podcast. We truly appreciate your support. Be sure to visit us at simplystraighttalk.com to join the conversation, access show notes, and discover our fantastic bonus content on Patreon. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to join us next week for another episode.